Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast, hosted by my dad, the Beer Dad, the most awesomest dad around, Justin Allen, and his most awesome co-host, the master brewer himself, the Brewed, Joshua Kunkel. Grab a cold one, kick back and relax, and enjoy the show. Cheers, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. As always, I'm your host, the Beer Dad, Justin Allen, joined by my awesome co-host, the master brewer himself, Mr. Joshua Kunkel.
Howdy how.
All right, so if you folks are listening right now, you probably notice a little bit different sound for the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast.
A little bit crisper.
I hope so. There's some crazy equipment on this table, so we've been messing with this thing for the last couple hours trying to get this right. It's still not right.
Yeah, we're getting close.
But we'll figure it out eventually, so bear with us. Typical fashion here, we're doing the same thing. We just got fancier equipment. We just got to learn how to use it because we're not professionals. We're professional beer guys, right?
Exactly. But if there's one thing beer has taught us is how to tinker, and that's what we do best. And this is no different, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So, anyways, Happy New Year, Josh.
Happy New Year.
So it's a brand new year. We are in the year, as Barbara Walters says, welcome to 2020. So here we are in the year 2020. Cars aren't flying. Well, almost flying, maybe, kind of. I don't know.
Ain't no Jetsons, that's for damn sure.
No, we don't have the Jetsons running around. But we're in the year 2020. This is going to be the year of the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. We're January 3rd. We're recording our first episode of the year. I'm really excited. So with that being said, today's episode is entitled New Beer,
New Year,
Who Dis? So, and basically what that is we have 4 beers here that the Beer Dad has never had in his life. So we've got a couple cans, fancy looking cans. You know, I like can art and different crazy special releases, so we got those. Of course, Josh went and procured these. He also stopped by Desert Beer.
Yep, Desert Beer Company. My good friend Devin over there has been just blowing it up. He's got about 16 different beers on tap. He's always just rotating
them out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were out there for Props and Hops, and we did the judging for the homebrew competition, and he was gracious enough to have everybody out there. He's a great guy. Got to meet him. Really, really beautiful brewery.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely put a lot of heart and soul into that thing, and it's definitely it shows. It definitely shows.
Absolutely. So I'm excited to try these beers that you actually got from his brewery. We'll probably go visit him here soon because, like we said on the last episode, we're starting a YouTube channel too. So stay tuned for that. I wanted to get this episode recorded for YouTube, but we're still trying to figure out how to use this Zoom Live Track L8 equipment with all these fancy microphones and booms and everything else that we got right now. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, we're still going to come at you with our podcast episodes. Stay tuned for a YouTube channel to drop soon. But let's just get right into these beers, man. Let's do this. So
they're not getting any colder, that's for sure.
Let's since we've got growlers filled from Desert Beer Company, let's go with these cans first because I think the growlers will stay cooler.
Yeah, they tend to insulate a little bit better.
Absolutely. So, Josh, pick one. Go ahead. So we've got looks like a couple hazy IPAs here. Pick one. Let's do it.
Well, the one beer I haven't tried myself on this is going to be the first one. It's from Arrow Lodge. It is called Liquid Inferno. It's a hazy India Pale Ale. And my good friends Jimmy and Jason over at the Craft Beer Lounge, they recommended this to me when I was popping in the other day. And they said, so far, I think, to them at least, this is their favorite yet. So
all right. So this is from Arrow Lodge Brewing.
Yep.
Covina?
Yep.
Or
based
West
out
Covina?
of Covina.
I know you got to say it right because if there's anybody that's from West Covina, God forbid you say they're from Covina, or the other way around. If you're from Covina and you say you're in West Covina, they don't like that either.
Yeah. So, all right. Without further ado, everyone loves this.
And never, doesn't matter if it's the old equipment or the new equipment, that sound never gets old.
Beautiful color on that one.
We'll get the Beer Dad sniffer. Get a upfront citrus scent right away.
Yep. Nice Nice and hazy like it should be.
Really nice colored. It's a light hazy, not too dark.
No.
So we'll see how the mouthfeel is on it. But this is called Liquid Inferno from Arrow Lodge Brewing, Covina, California.
7%.
7%, right where you want your IPA to be.
Oh, exactly. So without further ado, come on, you gotta. There we go. Yeah, that's actually pretty damn good. It's like mellow, sweet, a little bit of citrus up front. Get a nice, almost oaty kind of quality to it.
Oaty, yeah. I mean, I like that beer. That's different. I was thinking when looking at the color, with a lot of these hazies that we've been getting, like a lot of the New England style, they're a lot thicker than this. So I was a little concerned at first that maybe it wouldn't have the right mouthfeel. But this one hits pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's soft. It pretty much just coats and it's gone, the way I like it,
It rinses clean.
Exactly. You get all your flavor right then and there, and then leaves you refreshed and ready for more.
So, Craft Beer Lounge, thank you for providing us the Liquid Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Craft Beer Lounge, we're going to probably go see those guys here pretty soon, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. I gave Jimmy a heads up that we were definitely interested in going on the road, and he's all for it. I mentioned our future January Saturday date.
Okay.
He's definitely open for that. He said just give him like a week's head up so he can set it aside in his calendar and get there early. So
awesome. So what we're planning on doing, as long as all our I's can be dotted and T's can be crossed, and everyone's schedules and moons and stars align, the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast is actually going to do recording there at the Craft Beer Lounge prior to them opening. We're also going to film an episode for our YouTube channel.
Nice.
And feature those guys. Give them a nice plug. Really, we'll probably bring some cameras, take some good pictures, and just plug them on our Facebook, plug them on Instagram, plug them on YouTube. It's a really, 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 really cool place.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're nice. They're approachable. They know their shit through and through when it comes to beer. And I want to give them any leg up I can because, especially coming in Beaumont, if you ever been out that way, there's not too much going on out that way as far as like the craft beer scene. So the fact that these guys saw the opportunity and took advantage and just are, in my opinion, owning it really kind of speaks volumes. And definitely, like I said, it's about a block or two from my work, so a little dangerous for me, but
little dangerous, a lot of dangerous for me because it's only like, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes from my house?
Yeah, it's like a 10, 12 minute drive.
It's like, I mean, you can say right up the street, but it's kind of right up the canyon.
Yeah.
But it's really not that bad. Like an Uber ride's probably like $12, $15, somewhere around there, so perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Or I could get dropped off and then take an Uber ride home. But what I really like about that place is it kind of reminds me of like a Coffee Bean or a Starbucks, just chill, mellow vibe. Comfortable furniture, great tables and chairs for large groups. They got this bitchin' fireplace that you can sit around in these nice cushy chairs. But we're not drinking coffee, we're not drinking tea, we're drinking craft beer.
Yeah.
And they have a wonderful tap selection that's constantly rotating.
Yep.
And they have great selection of cans and bottles that you can buy and purchase to go or drink them there if you want.
Yeah.
When I went there with Alex, HopsCon Alex on Instagram, he asked the owner if they would ever allow like a big bottle share get together, and he said absolutely, as long as you cut him in on the action, because he obviously, and that's why I think they're going to be so successful, because the owners love craft beer and they've dove right into it, and I think they're going to do very, very well.
I was going to say, it's funny you mentioned the bottle share, because literally a couple of days ago they had a barley wine and stout bottle share that I guess just went off the hook. It just went crazy. I couldn't stick around myself, but I had stopped in earlier in the day just to say howdy, and people were just beginning to show up, and I ended up checking with Jimmy the other day, and he was like, yeah, we had like 20, 30 people here, and it was just bottle after bottle, you know.
That's great. Yeah, I think eventually, obviously our show's kind of brought a lot of people in. We've got, as I've last checked, we're still over 500 listeners and growing. All over the world, all over the country. Of course, a lot of local people as well, because we know people local. But I think eventually, it'd be nice to maybe do a BeerDad and Brewed podcast bottle share.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So there's a lot of things that are in the works that we're doing. But that craft beer lounge is awesome. So look for that. Hopefully, our next episode's going to be recorded there, I think.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I mean, I'm definitely setting aside the time to make it happen.
So hopefully between now and then we'll improve on our improvements with our sound and with our equipment here. Try to get it all narrowed down, figure it out, do a lot of studying as much as we can.
Yeah, get our AV ducks lined up.
Absolutely. So, but back to this beer from Arrow Lodge Brewing, Liquid Inferno IPA.
Yeah, and have you had any other Arrow Lodge beers, or is this your first?
New beer, new year, who dis?
Okay.
Never had Arrow Lodge before in my life, so this is a first. You popped my cherry.
All right. Happy to do it.
Jeez.
Yeah, but these guys, they're awesome, amazing, you know. So the more you can find of them, definitely check them out. And they also, not just hazies, but stouts as well. They did a couple of collaboration series stouts, also a craft lounge, but. If you find them, good stuff.
Awesome. This is great. All right, so my take here on the Liquid Inferno IPA by Arrow Lodge is the BeerDad likes it.
Mm-hmm. And I concur.
Yeah. If the Beer Thug Life guy's listening, you ever seen that guy? He chugs all these beers. I saw him chug like a 13-14% stout the other day. Like a professional. Like a pro. And my thing is, I love that dude because he's great, because he's brought a lot of people to craft beer, and I think what his movement is, I think it's really cool. It just kind of bothers me sometimes when he chugs the beer, because I'm like, oh my god, that's such a good beer, you can't even taste it. But at the same time, I think it's badass because he took that stout down. I was like, oh my god! I was waiting for him to just like fall over after.
Be like,
it was thick.
That was great.
It was a thick one, yeah. I can't remember what it was. It might have been that Brew Hosts 8-bit collab that they just did. Something like that. I can't remember, but
something big.
Yeah, I mean. Any listeners that haven't checked out Beer Thug Life on Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media, definitely check that guy out. It's a movement. He brings people together. He's thug life. I don't know how much more to expand
He's living
on
the thug life.
So, Cheers Motherfuckers is a brew that he collabed with local craft beer. Have you seen that? I think we actually had some.
Yeah.
I just had Cheers Motherfuckers 2. Thanks to HopsCon Alex, he brought me some, and they actually, the first one was good. This one's way better.
They just raised the bar a bit on it.
Yeah, nice, for sure. Nice. So they did a good job on that one. But definitely check out Beer Thug Life.
Was that with LCB?
Yeah, out Tehachapi up in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Tehachapi LCB, I guess you know Beer Zombies, right?
I do. They did a collab.
Yeah. So Craft Lounge, I was there yesterday, and they just got a bunch of the collab beers in from LCB. It was a bunch of triple and like double, hazy IPAs, regular West Coast IPAs, and the like. So, yeah, I was a little scared. I was looking at some of these, going like 11%.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this beer right here, this Liquid Inferno, if you gave this to Beer Thug Life, you'd probably chug about 24 of these. It's definitely a chuggable beer.
Yeah,
I like to enjoy it. Though I'm not going to chug it, that was good. Good job, Arrow Lodge. I'm sure we'll probably check in with you guys eventually, and
won't be the last
forward
time.
to more good beers. So what's next on the agenda, Mr. Kunkel?
So I live out in La Quinta, California, and right down the road from me, La Quinta Brewery has a series of tap rooms around the valley. One in particular is in Old Town La Quinta, and the other night they did a tap takeover with Brewery West. For those who are familiar, these guys are kind of famous. I mean, they're sort of like the American Abbey, and they're trying to do mostly like the Belgian styles, but they start breaking into the hazy market, and they've just been killing it. You know, like almost similar to I can't think of the
Monkish.
guy. Monkish, thank you. Yeah. Of course, what kind of sets these guys apart is they got some of the trippiest can art you're gonna find. I mean, this is no different. For those that don't know, this is Dig My Earth.
Okay.
So it's a hazy double IPA, so big beer. Now, what I find kind of cool about this is they use raw spelt for the hazy effect.
Okay.
You know, most guys use raw wheat or oats for it. These guys are using spelt, so it gives it definitely an interesting approach, and you'll find out shortly here. And yeah, so get some good stuff. Of course, for double, it's clocking in at 8, so that's also a fun fact. And then, of course, never gets old.
I love that sound.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good color. So, I know you said this is Brewery West.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll let you describe the can art.
Well, I'll get to the can art in a second, but Josh, explain to the people here when they're listening to our show and they're like, "Oh, that sounds good. Let me look these guys up." When they're typing in brewery, they're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, the spelling for brewery of Brewery West is spelt in, I'm going to assume, the Flemish or sort of Belgian version way of spelling, which if you want to go ahead and list that out for those who are listening.
I shall certainly do. For all my first responder friends, I will go phonetically and then say it. So phonetically, boy, Robert, Ocean Union, William Edward, Robert, Ida, John. That's BROUWERIJ.
Not quite your traditional way of saying brewery.
How do you pronounce that?
Brewery.
Brewery. Okay. It's kind of like when, if you've seen those memes now where they're talking about how ridiculous kids' names are being spelled.
Yeah.
And it's like, the spelling of this name is XHWZ dot exclamation question mark LWZ, and that sounds that name is Noel.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So the PE teacher's looking at this thing going, Browerage.
Yeah. What?
Is there a Browerage here?
Yeah.
Brewery, sir? That's kind of same concept. Or like the other one I saw the other day in a meme similar. It was this is the name written on the paper, LA dash A.
La A.
Right?
Yeah.
Ladasha.
Seriously? Like,
this is a real thing. LA dash A. Ladasha. We have officially, as a society, lost our minds. Listen, I've got kids. You can look at the spelling of my kids' names, and you can pronounce their names. Yeah. I'm not going to do something crazy like that. But I like this because this is beer. We like to have fun with beer. People, don't do it.
See, that almost strikes me as like people are like, like they secretly want to like live in the Matrix.
Right.
So it's like they want to do some sort of name that has like a code speak kind of approach to it. So
I like it. Yeah. All right. So back to the Brewery West. So spelled a little differently. So if you guys want to search it again, it's not spelled brewery, but it means brewery. West. Dig My Earth Hazy Double IPA. Can art is freaking badass. We're looking at a fox that's like being ripped, like split down the center, and you can see all its veins and intestines and a skeleton. Just really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. So
I mean, it kind of like in homage to our mutual friend Jose. He's always a big advocate for finding and picking up beer based on the label, and I mean, that's pretty much what drew me to this beer right away. I was like, okay, this is probably one of the coolest can art I've seen in a long time.
We're gonna dig into the Brewery West here in a second. But you're talking about Jose, and it's funny that you mentioned that. We have some new equipment here, and I'm hoping that this works. So we're gonna give this a go. All right.
All right. So we're in the experimental stage right now. So bear with us.
Yeah. So Brewery West.
Yep.
I think we might need sound here. Where's the?
Doop-a-doo. Any luck?
I don't know. Let me take a sip of this Brewery
All
West
right,
real quick
yeah.
while we mess with this. Oh, there's Jose.
What's that?
And I hear nothing that he's saying. Maybe I gotta turn this on. Let's see what happens. Can you hear us, Jose?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Is he like nodding his head or
Nod yes that you can hear us. Okay, he can hear us, but I can't hear him. So we gotta figure this out. Anyways, this new equipment that we have here for the podcast has a function where you can like hook up a phone and like FaceTime. So that, look, there's this beautiful face right there.
Hey.
I think actually, for those of you that are not here and seeing this, I'm pretty sure Jose's naked right now on FaceTime. Yeah. Oh, he's got boxers on. Thank God. He's laughing. All right, so we gotta figure this out. That's on. It's recording. What's going on here? New equipment. We have no idea how to use this shit.
Yeah, I'm lost. I mean, everything looks fine on my end here, so.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working here. Let's see. Are you there? No.
About ready to lose your mouse.
We don't need that. Hold on.
All right.
Are you there? Nope, you still can't hear him.
Maybe put him on speaker for the moment. And we'll figure this out for future
Hold on a second.
episode.
There is no speaker.
Well, I meant like unplug it, maybe.
Oh, let's see. Hold on. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Well, we got you on speaker. We just got to figure this damn thing out. I don't know how to do it. So, but it should be.
Looks nice though.
What's that?
The equipment looks nice.
Oh yeah, look at this frickin' thing. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. So, Josh was just talking about how you would like this can art.
I would. That does look nice.
Yeah.
As a paramedic and medical professional, it's
Right up your alley.
got some anatomy and physiology on there for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And chemistry once you start drinking it.
absolutely.
Indeed. So you took a sip of this earlier, Justin. Any thoughts, or you want to give it another go and see what your thoughts are?
Let me look one more time. Hold on, let me set you down there, Jose. That's different. I'm gonna see what I'm tasting here because I'm tasting something. That's what it is. Lemon candy.
Yes, the lemon drop. Yeah, I forgot to mention. Yeah, the hop profile on this one includes something of an experimental hop called lemon drop. Yeah, a little risque here.
Oh,
on the,
yeah.
BeerDad and Brewed.
You guys are lucky that the YouTube channel is not recording right now. We just got a shot. I don't know if that was quite. Well, actually, we're 21 and over, so I guess that's okay. But yeah, thanks, Jose.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Things that happen during a late night podcast.
Absolutely.
Wait, boo. I gotta go though, because I gotta wake up at 4 in the morning.
I like it. All right, boo. Go to bed. We'll figure this out. All right.
All right, cheers.
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 All right. So back to the Digmeyer. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. We couldn't get that to work. Allegedly, it's supposed to work. I don't know.
We'll get it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll test it out.
But Digmeyer Hazy Double IPA, Brewery West, 8%.
Yep. Now the thing that kind of trips me out with this beer is it does have almost like a. I know it's a hazy, like through and through, but there's almost elements of like a wit beer, like a Belgian wit beer.
Yeah.
Where you get a little bit of that banana and a little bit of that clove. Just a
little bit.
Touch of it.
Yeah.
But I would imagine majority of what you're tasting obviously is the hop, the lemon drop.
Okay.
So yeah, we got Amarillo, Simcoe. Those are pretty straightforward, and then of course lemon candy. Well,
that's what I tasted.
Oh, lemon candy. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking lemon drop for some odd reason. Two separate hops.
No. This is I was tasting, and I was like, "What are those little candies that you get, and that they're chewy, but you got to suck on them first because it's like a hard yellow candy, the lemon heads."
Oh yeah.
I was tasting that when I was drinking this, and I was like, "What is that?"
Actually, I got just a hair of taste of it right on the back end there.
Yeah. So the aftertaste of it.
The aftertaste, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, it's a good beer. Yeah, it's a good beer. I mean, these guys are like killing it.
So again, another Los Angeles County-based brewery. LA is trying to step up their game.
Yeah, they're coming in hot and have been for at least 2 years now, and they've been just blowing up.
Well, I mean, I know we talked about San Diego quite a bit. We had an episode dedicated just to San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the craft beer capital of the world.
Indeed,
We've been through that. There are some other great places to find craft beer, as we've been discovering through this little journey we call craft beer life.
Yes.
But Los Angeles is definitely getting up there. So is Orange County. Obviously, Riverside County is already there.
Yeah.
But between Monkish and these guys, and who else do they got out there in LA?
Oh, man. Well, you put me on the spot there. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I know they got the dudes.
The dudes, yeah. You got LA Ale Works.
Oh yeah, we've had them before. Yeah.
They're definitely
Golden Road, which is a big beverage company now.
Yeah, they kind of. I don't know. They sort of lost it after a while.
I can't drink that mango cart stuff unless it's like made in a michelada. Yeah. Just it's overly sweet.
Yeah.
So you got to drown it out with some tomato sauce.
Yeah, you need something a little more robust.
Right. LA. There's Smog City.
Oh yeah, Smog City Brewing.
Smog City, right next to Monkish, right?
Next nearby to Monkish. Yeah, actually, yeah, they're like almost.
The dudes, Monkish and Smog City are all in the same little spot.
Yeah. Also, you have Three Weavers out there.
Three Weavers, yeah.
Really good brewery.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a lot of them actually, all kind of in that same little.
That's like the Torrance area.
Yeah, Torrance. Speaking of Torrance, you have El Segundo.
That's
can't forget
that's a big one. They're good. They make that Broken Skull IPA by the Rattlesnake, Steve Austin. That's their collab that they did with him. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they have blown up.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely on the map and
nationwide distribution now.
Really nice.
You can get. Well, I know Broken Skull IPA for sure because that's the reason why they went nationwide, because people just went nuts when he brought it out on television one time. He came back to Monday Night Raw and he was like, coming out there, "Oh, you mealy mouthed son of a bitch," and he did his whole Stone Cold thing, and people were like, "What kind of beer is that? I gotta get that." So now it's available in like New York and Baltimore and Texas and Chicago and all over the place now.
Nice.
Which is good for those guys.
Oh yeah.
But I think they added like a couple other brews too to be distributed all over the country. So because of Stone Cold Steve Austin, El Segundo's on the map. They were kind of already on the map for us out here though, because they were making good beers.
Yeah, I mean they were taking their time, building things up slowly, and then it just Stone Cold got on the
That's all
TV.
It takes.
Yeah, got on the TV there, and it's like next thing you know
That's all it takes. Yeah. Listen, breweries, if you're listening, you want to be famous. You don't need Stone Cold. You need the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. You have Justin and Josh come to your brewery and collaborate a beer with you. We have 500 listeners. Okay, we're right on the money.
Yeah, we're on an upward trajectory here.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be there one day. I promise.
Oh yeah.
But it's a great ride, and for all the people that are listening right now, imagine you were the first. You're there from day one, from when we started in a bedroom. With one microphone.
Yeah.
And we've evolved now with, we got 4 microphones, but there's not 4 people here. So,
yeah.
But we were going to have guests, and we're going to go on the road. I'm going to do some other stuff. Go visit some breweries, which is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Brewery West, we might have to go check them out because this is good beer.
Oh, yeah. No, like I said, I went to the tap takeover over at the La Quinta Old Town Tap Room there, and they had some of the stuff in cans like this guy here. So I ended up buying a 4-pack, and they had some stuff on tap that was just as good. Yeah, just blowing it up. They had this one hazy that I wish they had in cans. It was called Alligator. Oh,
Gator.
Yeah, fucking great beer. Great beer.
Nice. And that craft beer lounge, I'm so glad we're going to hook up with those guys because, again, they love craft beer and they know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
They're bringing in these big breweries to take over. Listen, as to my knowledge, unless a listener can correct me, you can correct me, Kunkel, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Pure Project has never come to the Inland Empire.
Yeah.
Until Craft Lounge brought them in for a tap takeover.
Yes.
Their beers are freaking amazing, and they're very selfish and stay down in San Diego. But they came up here, and I actually went that night with HopsCon Alex and was able to have a whole flight of Pure Project, as well as take home Pure Project cans home, which is something they don't distribute. You can't go just into a store and buy Pure Project, especially what they had there that night.
Oh, yeah. And I know Jimmy is really taking it to heart to cultivate that relationship with Pure Project. He talks about I was like one of the first guys to really like be on their radar because I actually went down and just tried out their beers and just fell in love with them and kept the communication lines open and they basically Pure Project I guess saw something in him and Craft Lounge to say, hey, like let's give you some, let's do it, let's do this thing.
Well, that's great. So Craft Beer Lounge, good looking out for bringing Pure Project to the Inland Empire and bringing Brewery West to the Inland Empire. That's pretty great.
Well, Brewery West, that was...
La Quinta.
Actually, wait, no, I take that back. Craft Lounge does have some Brewery West beers in their cooler. So
okay.
So not devoid, but yeah, La Quinta Tap Room was the one where they had the tap takeover.
La Quinta does quite a bit of tap takeovers too. Didn't they do a Russian River?
Actually, yesterday. Last night. I had to work late, so I couldn't make it. Yeah, I was like, I was tempted to swing by today because I was just like, well, crap, they got like Pliny and, Blind Pig and, a couple other ones going on. But I'll have to maybe swing by there tomorrow and see if there's any still left.
I think I tagged you in it. Did you see that they're releasing Pliny the Younger? February.
Yes.
Only up there.
Only up there in bottles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like there should be a BeerDad and Brewed road trip in February. What do you think?
Possibly. Yeah.
If not, we got to figure out. We got to get somebody up there for us. So I got some friends that live in the area. Maybe they can get us some. We'll see. But that's pretty amazing. That
yes.
Absolutely. All right, so La Quinta, thank you for doing a tap takeover and bringing some Brewery West out.
Of course, I have to plug Craft Lounge yet again because I was talking to Jimmy, and he is talking about wanting to do a Brewery West tap takeover probably in the next month or so.
Very nice.
So be on the lookout for that one.
I'm all in. All right. What's next?
Next up, we're going to come back out to the desert. And I'm going to go ahead and plug my good friend Devin over at Desert Beer Company.
Okay.
It's been a little while since I had a chance to get out that way. And today I had, day off. So I was like, hey, let's go say hi. Right now, like I said earlier in the program, he's killing it with his beers. He's got about 16 beers on tap, which is just insane in my opinion. Especially if you saw his setup, he's only got like a 6-barrel setup, but he's just pumping them out.
I mean, it's a smaller brewery. Very nice brewery. Amazing setup. Very clean. Very, very nice. What I was impressed with his brewery is how organized and detailed orientated he is.
Yeah.
You could tell he's a perfectionist.
Oh yeah, including sometimes the like what the hell moments. Yeah. But no, he's doing a good job. He's got definitely things lined up, and he's always coming up with some pretty awesome concepts and flavors and stuff, and these two growlers that I got here for us tonight are no different. Mm-hmm. So before I get too far, let's break into the first of them, which is a jalapeno lime cilantro gosa, depending on who you're talking to. So So
jalapeno, lime, cilantro, ghosts.
Yeah. So
I don't know how I feel about all that. I can tell you that there's been some jalapeno beers that I do like. So, with that being said, I'm going to give it a go.
I can tell you the jalapeno probably takes a bit of a back seat
Okay.
on this one, so I don't think I have to worry.
Cilantro. What's going to hit me first?
Probably the lime. Lime and salt. Because Ghost typically is a salty beer.
Okay.
You know, that's where it works out. Oh, yeah. Love that noise.
So, Desert Beer Company. And what is that considered? Is that La Quinta? Or is it Indio? Where
Palm
is it?
Desert, to
Palm
be
Desert.
exact, yeah.
It's right off the freeway. So
Yeah.
you can get to Desert Beer Company right off the 10 freeway. The actual location in that strip mall, deceiving if you're using GPS, but if you have someone just tell you where it's at, it's easy to find, like when I went there.
Yeah.
Because it's on the backside of the kind of strip mall.
Yeah, pretty much you have kind of a main entrance, and as you're going in from the light, you're right in front of you, you're going to see like a fitness place. Yeah. And then from there, you basically just turn left and just kind of follow it around the back of the building.
Backside, yeah.
And pretty hard to miss. They got a big old sign out there.
Yeah, GPS, the way GPS brought me, it kind of brought me to the back of the building. And then I just figured it out from there. But if you didn't have any knowledge or I was on the horn with you, I was like, okay, I could see how people could get lost getting back there.
Yeah.
But it's a convenient location if you can find it because it's right off the freeway.
Yeah, and it's also, there's something like a little bit of an allure, especially for us, you know, craft beer aficionados who want to kind of be like on the in crowd.
Yeah.
Because it almost has kind of a speakeasy feel because of where it's located.
Right.
You know, it's kind of cool to be like, hey, man.
Yeah. Back alley kind of thing.
You been over to DBC?
Yeah. Devin makes great beers.
Yes.
So we were out there and we did the Props and Hops homebrew competition. I got to be a judge for that. I loved it. It was great. I'm going to do it next year.
Oh, yeah.
He was kind enough to have us out there and host it. It was the first time I had been to his brewery. So, of course, even though I had drank like, I don't know, 40 beers that day.
There was a lot to go around.
But I was happy to partake in his beers afterwards. So I got some food in me, and because I wanted to enjoy it, I didn't want to get sick or anything like that. But
yeah, luckily, I mean, he just like a lot of the other breweries, he occasionally has, you know, food vendors and food trucks come by and serve up some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, he had a pretty good
it was Kuma catering.
Yeah.
That guy is like a Da Vinci artist with
I had
food,
some
man.
nachos with some like smoked meat on top of it or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was, like I said, the guy just like what we kind of do with beer, he does with food. So it's like I give him all sorts of props.
Absolutely. So yeah, great brewery. Definitely check it out. So head on out to Palm
Of course, I can't give Devin all the credit on these beers. He's got a partner in crime, Chance, and Chance is just as awesome a brewer and awesome a guy. And so, cheers to you, Chance and Devin.
Cheers, Desert Beer Company.
And cheers, Desert Beer Company.
All right, first of all, with this beer, I have to say that before I took a sip, as I was bringing it to the BeerDad's face, it cleared my sinuses.
I was going to say, I could smell the jalapeno. Yeah. Jalapeno's in the fumes.
That's a crazy good flavor.
Yeah. That is like just the right combination.
You want to talk about making a good michelada.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You don't have to add shit but the tomato juice.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because today when I was picking up this growler, he only made like a 6-barrel of this. This was kind of like just a one-off he was playing around with. And he ends up pouring me the growler, and I was like, well, besides the growler, I want to take a pint. And so as I'm pulling the pint, it blows the keg, and he's like, fuck. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, everyone kept telling me this beer made a bitchin' michelada. I'll never know now. And I was like, well, dude, take my beer. He's like, no, it's okay, man. I'll make another one.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, but...
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the awesome thing about owning a brewery is to play around and have fun with some stuff that you don't normally mess with, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But this is cool. Like, he had some pretty crazy beers up there, you know, to choose from. I think I had like a Mexican candy.
That's right. He's been doing a lot of fun stuff with the kettle sours.
Yeah.
One of them was the Mexican candy, and of course, similar to like Mason Jar, you go all out and do the rimming of the glass and everything too.
A little tahine on the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really good beer. What did they happen to give you an ABV on that?
6%.
Dude.
Yeah.
So refreshing.
Yeah.
and not crazy high ABV, but high enough to where if you drank enough of it, it could get you.
Yeah. But it definitely doesn't drink like a 6%. That's for sure. I mean, this is something, especially with the Goza. Typically those range in like the 3 to 4% range. They're typically not very high ABV beers.
Right. I had a watermelon Goza that was 4.7, 4.3, something like that.
Yeah. Usually they're pretty light. They're meant to be more like thirst quenching.
Yeah. Summer beers.
Summer beer. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And this one, it's kind of cool because you're getting that ABV, which some people obviously love to partake in, but you're also still getting the thirst quench. And you're getting also a little bit of heat there, and it just overall to me it's just a damn good beer. I was doing a little flight and trying different things he had out there because with 16 beers, you can't sit there and try them all unless you're going to be all day there, and well, sometimes I don't have all day.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it'd be nice to go to every brewery and just try them all.
Oh yeah. It was a good friend of mine told me many years back. He's like, you don't have to drink the brewery; it'll be there tomorrow.
That's right.
Yes.
The only problem is some of these breweries make these one-off beers.
Will the beer be there tomorrow?
Here today, gone tomorrow. That's why we're doing new beer, new year. Who dis?
Who dis? Yeah.
All kinds of new beers come and go. Sometimes you get disappointed you don't try them. Sometimes you're disappointed you did try them.
Yeah.
Just all depends, and that's what I love about craft breweries and home brewing is all the experimental stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the reasons why Devin's an awesome guy and good friend, because he's not just a good friend to for the beer folk and the craft beer folk, but he's also a good friend to myself as a home brewer, because he used to be, well, I should say still is part of the homebrew club, and he's also made it very easy for us as a homebrew club to have like a base of operations for our meetings, to do things like the props and hops competition. He's always been very like forward and saying, hey, I'm here to support the homebrew club, which to us is awesome.
Right. Awesome.
So
good stuff.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
Devin and Chance.
Chance.
Okay. I didn't meet Chance. Was he there that day?
I don't think he was there during the props and hops. No, I think he had the day off.
Okay.
But cool guy. He's a veteran, so definitely, he's got some fun stories to tell if you ever ask him.
I love that. You already know the Beer Dad loves his veterans, first responders. I got mad respect, mad love for all those. Obviously, I'm still technically a first responder myself. So a lot of my friends still do it, so I have mad love, and all the veterans, everybody that was in the military, I have mad respect for.
Yeah. No, I remember when they were getting DBC off the ground, I was in there kind of helping Devin out, and things just weren't going to plan that day, and Devin was just, he was pissed at the world, and they had just, they hadn't gotten the AC up and running yet, so the building was just like... Was
it summertime out
Summertime,
there?
It was like July, August, so it was like 95, 100 degrees in the building or something like that. And Devin's running around. It's like, fucking hot in here. And Chance is like, yeah, it was hotter in Afghanistan.
That really puts you in perspective, right? When you're bitching, let me tell you something. Out where you live, it gets hot here in San Jacinto, but out where you live, it gets like Africa hot, right?
Oh yeah.
But when I have a veteran tell me, it's hotter in Afghanistan. Yeah. That might bring me back down to level just a little bit, right? Yeah. Imagine being in those full turnouts, running around with all your ammo, all your gear, in the middle of the desert. You got camels spitting at you. You got these a-holes, shooting at you. You don't know who's your friend, who's your enemy, kind of thing. Yeah. I have nothing but respect for those guys. So when I have someone tell me it ain't as hot as Afghanistan, it might bring me back down a little bit. So That's kind of cool. I can't wait to meet Chance. That's awesome.
Like I said, cool guy. I was chatting with him earlier today too, and he made a beer in particular for DBC. I was tempted to bring it up tonight, but I figure I'll hold off a little bit because I think that one's going to be easily a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
He decided to try his hand at doing a Pilsner, which, if anyone knows anything, Pilsners are actually pretty hard to make. On a homebrewing scale, they're really difficult to make, but even on a craft beer scale, they're actually...
There's all the, trying to filter and get it so clear and crisp is...
Well, that's part of it, but also just the temperature control. It's really hard to kind of dial it in and make sure... Because you do have to do what's called a diacetyl rest, where at some point you have to raise the temperature. And as I learned from Devin after talking to him, with those giant tanks, you can turn off the cooling coils, and it'll take 3 or 4 days to get this thing just 5 degrees up.
Right.
It takes forever to do that. But either case, Chance tried his hand at making a Pilsner, and I got to give him credit. This thing is just phenomenal. It's the reason why I think craft beer is going to just dominate in the long term, because it's taken what the macro big beer guys are doing and it's doing it better.
Right.
Much, much better.
Right.
It's this is a Pilsner I want to drink.
Yeah.
And even to set the tone, can you guess what the name of this wonderful Pilsner beer is?
What is it?
America.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. We got to go out there and do an episode for sure. Have Devin and Chance. We got 4 mics.
Hey, there you go.
So you, I, and Devin and Chance.
Yep.
4 mics.
Get
and
there.
Some brews.
Get there early and test try some brews and
that sounds like a plan.
Shoot some shit.
All right, so we got another guilty
Another
pleasure from Desert Beer.
Now this one, I would imagine you have to be in the mood, or at least enjoy the flavors of this beer. I, particular, am a huge fan of this beer. I tried it for the first time today, and I was fucking floored at how awesome it is.
Okay.
Especially as a home brewer, I'm like, shit, why didn't I think of this, But let me get right into it. This is called Valenice.
Okay.
And it is a Valencia Orange and Star Anise Pale Ale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I am a huge fan of black licorice. I always have been.
Okay.
I think I'm alone in this most of the time.
In this room, between you and I, you are, because the beer dad's not a big fan of the black licorice. Red vines, sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like chewing on cherry plastic. But I don't know, black licorice just what's that?
Yeah.
What's that booze?
Jaeger.
Oh, whoever invented that needs to be shot.
Well, if you think that's bad, have you ever? I'm not sure if you ever seen this. I guess Stone did a collaboration with Jaeger, and there's a Stone Jaeger beer.
Ooh.
It's I'm not gonna lie, I liked it, but I would probably only drink 1 glass at a time. It's a very robust, very Jaeger centric beer.
Yeah, no, I'd be out on that because, like I said, black licorice is not my thing. But we were talking about Star Anise, and there's been beers where that's what they've used, and I like it.
Oh yeah, to me, if you use it in a balanced perspective, you can get some pretty awesome flavors. This one in particular is no different. I think Devin was able to balance the Star Anise in this beer, and I was actually surprised because to me, Star Anise typically is, I guess, more bitter.
Yeah.
As far as those flavors go, I'm more partial to fennel. Fennel kind of has the same compounds, but it's a little bit sweeter. So,
well, let's do it. Let's do it. What's it called?
It's Valenice.
Valenice. So Valencia oranges crossed with Star Anise.
Yep.
Right. I like it. Who names their beers there? Has Devin come up with the names? Who?
I think it's between Devin and Chance.
Devin and Chance.
Yeah, this one's definitely, I think, Devin.
Okay.
Damn, that one popped good.
I feel like we should do a collaboration with Desert Beer.
Oh yeah.
One of these days, because he likes to make some funky stuff, and you and I like to make some funky stuff. So.
Yes, we do.
Did he get a sample of the?
I told him about it today when I was talking to him, and he was like, "Okay, I got to try this."
Okay.
So I told him if I'm up early tomorrow, He said he's going to be at the brewery like early on. I told him I'd bring him a bottle of the Moen-Law.
All right.
Let him try it.
He's got to try it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he makes some great beers for the brewery, but he also likes to play around because he's a home brewer at heart. And I think he'll like that beer.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, the beer that we made, it's one of those things where you can get in a room of two people. One person's going to love it. And the other person's going to hate it. Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of beer. I mean, this one may be the same way, the star anise.
It could be. Yeah. So far, Josh, everything that you've brought today, you're 3 for 3.
Sweet.
So at the very least, if I don't like this beer, you're still batting 300.
All right. Well, without further ado,
cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So Valencia oranges and star anise. So it's like orange and black licorice.
Yeah.
Interesting combination.
No, just smell it.
I can smell licorice. I don't know, because I'm like, all right, here comes some Jägermeister.
Yeah, for me, this is my boner beer right here, man. This is just boy. Like, oh fuck yeah. You look contemplative.
Well, I am, because I'm so torn because it smells like frickin' black licorice. But when I taste it, the combination of the citrus and the star anise is like, it's almost like it balances it out.
Yeah, it's trippy, isn't it?
Very trippy. I wasn't expecting that. Is this a favorite beer for the Beer Dad? Probably not. Is it a good beer? It's a good beer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very surprised. If I could get that smell to go away, I'd probably like it even better.
Fair enough.
Because the flavor is great.
Yeah. Like I had a pint of this earlier, and I was just like, hot damn, man. I'm in love with this beer.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to rate it, if the Beer Dad actually paid attention to his Untapped, and I was going to rate this beer, what's Untapped? They give you 5 as top step.
Yeah.
I'd probably go like 3.75 on this.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah, no, that's definitely above half.
Yeah. Better. I mean, I
I
would drink it again. It's one of those things where I probably wouldn't drink more than one.
Yeah.
Just because the flavor's crazy. It's really hard to describe. Like, okay, so I'm smelling it, and all I smell is black licorice. Maybe a little citrus, but mostly black licorice. It's very overpowering on the scent. I would say it's got a medium body. Yeah. It rinses clean, which is important.
Yes,
especially with that kind of flavor.
Yeah, or spice in general.
And but the citrus balances out. It's so crazy. You guys got to go try this beer.
Yeah. Well, it lasts, man, because I think he said he did like a quarter barrel of this. Uh-huh. So while it's there, it's there. Like he thought this one was going to pop too the same day. So I'm hoping he does this one again though, because this to me, I told him like this is definitely one of my favorite beers.
It's interesting
that he's done so far.
Yeah, Devin, if you're listening, good job. Listen, I don't like black licorice, and by smelling it, I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I like it. Yeah. So good job.
And if he doesn't make it again, I'll sure as hell try. Because this beer represents 2 of my favorite flavors in the universe. The black licorice and citrus. And I always joke with people that I consider myself something of a citrus snob, because I just, I can usually pick out okay, this citrus, that citrus, California citrus, Chile citrus, Florida citrus, all that nonsense. But yeah, it's awesome to see the combination and just see it work so damn well.
Yeah, that's a good beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
crazy how they wild flavors. Yeah. I mean, if you guys listen, heading out to the desert, I know it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's hot during the summer. But there's some good breweries out there.
Oh yeah, I mean you got CVB. It's always
brand new head brewer.
Brand new head brewer from Hanger. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I just posted that on the Beer Dad page.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah. Looking forward to see what he's able to pull off with that. I figure his experience at Hanger is going to definitely come in handy.
Yeah.
With that, especially with the barrel programs that CVB's been known for.
They got some amazing equipment there that he's going to get to play with.
That guy is so damn lucky.
I mean, as a brewer,
Yeah.
for you, I mean, obviously you have been doing this for a very long time. I have not. I've been drinking this for a very long time. But now that I know the inner workings of making beer, I can see that I have more of an appreciation. Like when we start going to all these breweries coming up this year, when I see crazy equipment, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, that's just like boner material for a brewer because you look at this stuff and you're like, I can make so many beers here.
Oh yeah.
Like, and you could just have fun with it. You know, make your beers, keep the brewery popping with your core beers, right? You keep cranking those off. It's a recipe. You got it. You just boom, do it in bulk. It's done, right? But then all these one-off beers that you can play with all this fancy equipment, just dial it in.
It's one of those things where, it's good not only to have your big equipment, but also your pilot system. And make sure your pilot system is maybe big enough to do like 1 or 2 barrels. Yeah. So that you can kind of do these one-offs and do some pretty cool experimental stuff. I think that's where Devin definitely kind of did his homework because he's got a 6, almost 7 barrel system.
Right.
So that's enough that, you're going to work a little bit hard kind of cranking out your tried and trues. Yeah. But it's really going to open up that niche for like experiments and just really trying some really one-off awesome stuff that, it's going to keep driving people to the brewery because it's like, what are they going to make next?
Absolutely.
And if you look at the market, it's kind of going that direction. There's obviously your flagship beers are always going to kind of be there. But people really look forward to trying those one-offs and kind of, bragging about it almost.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed in the craft beer community, Instagram, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff, and myself included, I love finding these special releases, one-offs. Yep. I feel like that's where you can find stuff like this, something that's not your run-of-the-mill APA or IPA, Pilsner, Irish Red. Yeah. Flagship beers, which are great. You always have to have them and you drink them, but these types of beers, they just hit your palate. Or like our beer that we made, it's just like something totally different from left field, and you're like, you drink it and you're like, you're all your senses, like with our beer, your scent's going off, your eyes are watering from the spice. All your different flavor senses are going off. I love that in beer.
Yeah, you're basically, well, like you said, you're diving into it. All senses forward, and you're coming out just, whoa, what was that? It's like, oh crap, there was a lot to unpack here. I just went on a damn journey.
Right, and then like with our beer, it's like you get all that, and then all of a sudden it's like 9%. And you're like, what? Wow, I don't taste any alcohol in this beer at all. Speaking of that, we got a little bit of news that we have to talk about. Ooh. And I'm sure you've heard of this, so we'll have you elaborate as a brewer because you can talk about where they went wrong here. But we're going to talk about 450 North.
Oh yes, I know.
I'm glad I remembered. We've got time left. I think we're close to an hour here. We like to run a little over. Yeah. So 450 North. Huge brewery in the Midwest, Indiana. People line up overnight. Oh yeah. There's huge beer trading involved with 450
I know
North.
You've been talking about wanting to get your hands on it for some time.
I've got some coming.
Nice.
1 can.
1 can. Okay, well, some.
After all this controversy, actually, I met somebody very nice through Facebook. Okay. And hopefully they're listening to this show. So shout out. But we're going to do a little trade skis. Okay. They're really wanting to get some electric brewing.
Makes sense.
And everybody they talk to wants to charge them all kinds of crazy money. And I'm like, listen, I love craft beer, and I want other people to be able to experience what we can experience here on the West Coast. And I think that trading is great. As long as you're trading like growler for growler, beer for beer. Yeah. I don't need to make a profit. Okay, electric's 25 minutes from my house, and I go there frequently, maybe like once every couple months, once a month, depends on what they have released. So if I go there and I grab you a couple growlers, send me a couple growlers from where you're at. He's from Houston area. Oh, okay. So they're going to send some B52 brewing, as well as some Ingenious brewing.
Okay.
And Eureka Heights, I think.
Not familiar with that one, but okay.
And then they had some 450 North.
Okay, like the cans and
the Slushy XL.
Okay.
The controversy.
The controversial beer. Yes.
So, and what we're talking about, folks, is if you haven't been paying attention, and I'm sure most of the people that listen to our show have been, because 450 North is so huge. Somebody sent 450 North to a lab and tested it, and come to find out their ABVs are nowhere near what they've been saying they are.
Yeah.
So they've been saying they're like, anywhere from like 6 to like 9% on these slushy XLs, these overly fruited slushy drinks, and they came back after the test results at 2%, 2 to 3%.
2 to 3%.
So huge controversy. There was a lot of people talking horrible about this brewery now, which is sad because I don't like to see that, and I feel like it's not their fault. I don't think they intentionally did it. I think
they owned up to it.
Yeah.
They put a press release and basically said, "Hey, we screwed up."
Yeah.
Sorry.
And they're fixing it going forward.
Yeah.
And they actually thanked the person that did that, because otherwise they wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing new in the beer industry either. I mean,
it's happened.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to get all controversial or anything like that, but CBB ran into something similar with their Black Widow.
Right.
One of the versions of the Black Widow was shown to be, was promoted as like 17%.
And it wasn't.
They sent it in, and it turned out to be more like 9 or 10%.
Yeah.
But it just happens sometimes. Especially when you're making beers that have a lot of variables and a lot of elements to them, like the ones at 450 North, where they're throwing in like
all the
fruit and the Lucky Charms or whatever the hell is the pick of the week, or in the case of Black Widow from CBB. Whether you're dealing with the barrel aging and you're trying to compensate for the fact that this barrel was super wet with whatever booze was in it, and you think, okay, the booze is going to leach into the beer when maybe it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, Instagram is freaking blown up. Memes up to what of just horrible things against 450 North, which is sad because they still make good beer.
Yeah. And that's, to me...
I've never had it, but, I mean, there's still a good majority of the people that are like, you know what, this sucks, I'm sorry.
It's one beer.
But that's not all. I don't drink their beer just for the slushies. They make great IPAs and hazies and everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. And for me as like a home brewer, it's more like I'm making this or I'm drinking this for the flavor. That's kind of the whole point of the craft beer. Is like if you're in there to get like fucked up from the ABV, I think you're in it for the wrong reasons. That's
absolutely.
It's like for me, the whole point of this is like the flavor. It's like you're trying to manipulate and trick your brain into going like, oh crap, I didn't think of these two combinations. That's really good. Like, well, shit. Perfect example right here in our hand. Anise and citrus. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Combination of those two, just like, whew. Go figure.
Right.
It's that awesomeness of those combination of different elements and different flavors that keeps the brain churning and keeps us obviously coming back for more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, no fault to 450. They didn't double down, which is cool on them. I got to give them credit. They came clean like, hey guys, we screwed up. We're going to fix it going forward. Hopefully you're still with us.
Yeah,
that's all they really can do at this point. Honestly, honestly, compared to what some of these other breweries are doing on a marketing scale with some of the bullshit they're throwing out there, getting all political or religious or whatever, I'd say screwing up on your ABV is kind of like bottom of the totem pole of ways you can screw up as a brewery.
There's been some pretty wild stuff in craft beer lately between politically incorrect naming of beers like titty milk.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, Josh, but
it's like It's like we're not gonna subtlety's just gone out the window.
We're not trying anymore.
Yeah.
We're the creative juices have left the building.
Yes.
We're taking it back to 6th grade, and titty milk is what we came up with. Yeah. Unfucking believable.
Yes.
Yeah. So
wholeheartedly agree. It's like, come on, people. Like you couldn't have a pun or get a little bit wittier about it. It's like we're just gonna
Yeah, we're just gonna go out there. Like I saw a tap handle and it was a giant dick.
Yes, I saw that one too. Yeah, it's like really, come on,
this is getting out of hand.
Yeah,
but I love that blog that Aaron does.
Yeah, the brutality.
Yeah, so he wrote an article about horribly politically incorrect names for beers and breweries and stuff like that. That's great. So, by the way, Aaron is from Brewkaipa. He's the head brewer there at Brewkaipa. Great guy. Yeah. We're going to go see him, too.
Oh, yeah. We got to definitely go check him out. You know, I haven't been there in a while, but I know he's always doing some pretty good, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So, and luckily for me, even though I can't make it out to Brewkaipa all the time, he does ship his beers to a local place out in La Quinta. It's like a beer/pizza place.
Nice.
Yeah, so I try to get there when I can. It's funny because it's like right down the street, but life being life.
We are busy men.
Yes, indeed. So.
But not busy enough to drink good craft beers and get together and have some good stuff
and shoot some shit.
So we had some. The Beer Dad had some new beers.
Mm-hmm.
Beers that I've never had before. This is a new year. New beer. Who dis?
Who dis, yeah.
So we started with Liquid Inferno by Arrow Lodge Brewing in Covina, California. 7% IPA. It was good. Chuggable.
Oh yeah, they're kicking ass over there, and I hope they keep at it.
And then we had Dig My Earth Hazy Double IPA by Brewery West out in San Pedro, California, which is Los Angeles.
Yes.
Covina's kind of Los Angeles too, but it's like on the outskirts. It's like the first, like West Covina area is like that first city you hit when you leave. Yeah. Well, I guess maybe Pomona is the first city when you leave San Bernardino County.
Yeah.
But it's like right there. Like I don't feel like I'm in Los Angeles yet until I see the Cobster's Palace, Staples Center. Like when I start seeing the big buildings, I'm in Los Angeles.
Yes, Angeles.
Yeah. No. So. All right, so Covina, San Pedro, and then to the desert.
Yep, Desert Beer.
Desert Beer Company.
Yes.
And Devin and Chance.
Yep, Devin and Chance, kicking ass.
Yeah, they did a great job. I like that jalapeno beer. That was crazy, man. The scent kicks your ass, everything kicks your ass.
Yeah.
So.
And then, not sure if you wanted any more of this homebrew that I brought. We started the... evening before the podcast, trying an experiment of my own.
Yeah, let's have some of that.
All right. So I did a beer earlier this year called Citrocopia. It's basically my citrus gut punch beer. Mm-hmm. I throw, Tangelo, lemon, and lime zest into a pale ale with orange blossom honey. And yeah. One of these bottles a number of years ago when I did this recipe got funked with some Brett. And it was a beautiful mistake that I wanted to replicate on purpose. So this was the result of that. And I don't know, what were your thoughts on that one?
Well, it was funny because when I was drinking it, I kind of told you, it was like hitting my mind. I'm like, I feel like I've tasted something like this before, and I still haven't figured it out. But I like it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, here, let's get you another taste.
Yeah, let's do that. Nice sound there.
Oh yeah.
So it's always nice to have some home brew.
Oh yeah.
Because we got to shout out to all the home brewers. Without home brewing, there would be no craft beer.
Yeah, there wouldn't be what else we've been trying tonight.
Because if they didn't change the laws here, well, let's be frank, people would still do some craft home brewing.
Yeah, they'd be making some pretty awesome stuff.
Regardless of what the feds and the state officials like to tell you. But now that it's legal,
yeah.
Without home brewing, we wouldn't have craft breweries. We wouldn't have R&D. We wouldn't have all these great recipes. Shit. All your master brewers, yourself, all these guys that are, Aaron at Brew Kaipa and the new guy at Coachella Valley, Devin, they all started with home brewing.
Yes.
You start somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't just jump into it and hope to have some sort of effect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see, like, it kind of makes me laugh, but they have all these universities that are pumping out people with these degrees that are supposed to be master brewers, and yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think the big contribution those guys have is they're probably going to be better at the bigger scale.
Well, the bigger scale and more of the business side of things.
The business side of it,
Yeah.
yes. I will give them the credit because I've seen some of the guys that come out of those programs, and it's like, okay, you now have the business mind for making this work,
But when you're talking about the creativity, the scent, the palate, the experience.
The balance of everything.
I mean, we're talking like if I'm somehow blessed and I win the lotto and I say I'm gonna go open a brewery, I would much rather have somebody like you be my master brewer than somebody that got out of UC San Marcos brewing program, because I know that there's a love and a craft and a passion that you have.
Yeah.
That you're gonna put your heart and body into every beer that you make. Even if they're bad beers, this is your baby.
Yeah.
These guys, they're going to be like, they're just going to work off of recipes and science and physics and, and then business side of things. Well, I can't put that little bit of extra zest in there because I'm going to lose my profit margin.
Yeah.
Right? And as an owner, you kind of have to respect that in a way. But at the same time, no, because I need my beer to taste good. I don't need it to taste food cost.
Yeah.
I need it to taste good. I need the heart and soul in my beer.
Yeah.
I don't need all the technical crap, and I don't need the food cost, and I don't need any of that. I want my beer to taste good.
And I've seen that with some of the guys working in the breweries where, the manager would kind of, fight them a little bit on some of the cost of materials. Yeah. But the results obviously spoke for themselves, because once that beer was on tap, it flew off the shelf. People just went gaga over it. And it's like, what would you rather have? Pay good money for good materials and then have the beer completely sell out, or cheap out on the materials and then maybe you don't sell it out as quickly and you maybe end up having to dump it after a while because it just goes stale or it goes old.
Right.
It's like you want to basically get people in the door and you want them to come back knowing that they're going to get some pretty crazy, outlandish quality.
Absolutely.
So,
well, cheers to home brewing.
Yep. And to all the crazy, phenomenal beers that come about from it.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Yeah.
That's a good beer.
Yeah, I like that beer. For those that don't know, I purposely added a Brett strain post fermentation of this beer. So it dried it out a bit, but it also gave it that nice little funky farmhouse / horse blanket flavor. That
I think for the bitter beer lovers, they probably like that. Did you happen to see what your IBUs were?
It's interesting because this one, you may get the bitter more from the lime than from the hops themselves. And the hops, I threw about maybe 4 or 5 ounces. So IBU, probably in the 60 range. 60,
that's not bad.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. But I remember when I put the lime zest into this, it bittered the shit out of it. It's partly the reason why I decided to throw the bread on there, because I was like, hey, I don't want to sit around and see if this thing gets any better. Let me just experiment.
Right.
And I'm pretty happy with the results.
Yeah, it's good. No complaints here. Very nice.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Well, new beer,
New year.
new year. Who dis?
Who dis?
We got to sample a bunch of beers that the BeerDad has never had before. Arrow Lodge, Brewery West, Desert Beer Company,
Homebrew.
Homebrew. Well, that's what I love about homebrew, because you're always making something.
Oh yeah,
You're always bringing it by.
well,
But
shit, man, I got to start getting some crowds together because I was checking my cellar today for this, and I'm like, shit, I got a couple of beers in here that are 2, 3, 4 years old.
oh wow,
So I'm curious to see what's become of those.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
But,
Well,
yeah.
maybe the beer share at the craft beer lounge.
yes.
Yeah, you get some perspective
Oh yeah.
on some of your beers. But that should be our next episode. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll be up in Beaumont, California for the Craft Beer Lounge episode, and look for a YouTube episode as well.
Sweet.
So got all the gear for the camera.
Yeah, and
I'm excited to test that out.
I was gonna say the sound here. Hopefully, people notice the improvement of awesomeness.
Well, I can hear you a lot better, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't sound like a faint echo, like I'm like
Hiding
Beer
in the
Master
corner.
Ghost here or something.
He's hiding in the corner, ladies and gentlemen. So.
That's me in the corner.
All right. Well, this was a great episode, great beer share that we had here. Again, plug in Aero Lodge Brewing, Covina, California. Liquid Inferno IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Brewery West, Dig My Earth Hazy Double IPA.
Oh yeah.
They are in San Pedro, California. Desert Beer Company, Palm Desert.
Palm Desert. Yep.
Palm Desert, right off the 10 freeway. Look them up. Go see Devin. Go drink some of his beers. They got some cool stuff. But we had a jalapeno lime cilantro ghost. And then we also had the
Valencia Orange and Star Anise.
Valenice.
Yep.
So good stuff there. Great episode. I hope everybody listens. That you get to check out some of these beers. Throw up some pictures of the cans that we have. Unfortunately, Desert Beer Company, we're in growlers, so not really a whole lot of pictures that you can get there. But just go check them out.
Oh yeah, definitely worth it. And go have your own new beer. Oodis.
Yeah, I definitely recommend all the listeners. We all have our standby beers. We all have our beers that we like. But go out and try something new. Try something different.
Yeah.
Off the wall. Like this jalapeno lime cilantro ghost. Sounds freaking crazy, but let me tell you something. It was good. It was amazing, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed all the different flavors hitting my palate. The scent as soon as I picked that cup up, I was like, wow. So go check them out, Desert Beer Company. All these beers were great. Josh, great time, good talk.
Likewise.
Hey, like I always say, drink responsibly, drink local, do whatever you got to do, get home safe. Thanks for listening to the show. I'm going to play with some sound effects. Let's see what happens. That was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently this soundboard thing has built-in sound effects. We're going to work on doing our own, but that's one of the built-in ones. Sounds like 70s porn music. But I hope you enjoyed that. So we'll figure this damn equipment out. Maybe we need to drink some more beers and we'll figure it out. I don't know.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Sounds like that's going to happen. So anyways, everybody, thanks for listening to the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. This is episode 9.
Yes.
Episode 9. We're almost in double digits. That's crazy.
Oh, damn.
How fitting that double digits we're going to be on the road.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So
New chapter, I guess.
New chapter in the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for listening. You have a great one.
Cheers.
Cheers.